Good day, friends. You're watching Explore with Peter Mugogo. Today, we are privileged to have a conversation with a friend of mine. We've known each other for many years. We've worked together as tourist guides. Lilian, you are welcome to Explore with Peter Mugogo.
Thank you, Peter.
Lilian traveled all the way from Rukungiri to Kampala so we could have this conversation. Lilian, you are welcome. Who is Lilian?
Yes. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with the world on what we do and who I am and what it means to be a tourist guide.
Yes.
My name is Lilian Kamusiime.
Lilian Kamusiime. That sounds very musical. I would say Lilian Kamusiime. Kamusiime.
Yes, because there is a double I.
Okay.
So, all the way from the land of hills, Kigezi, the Switzerland of Africa.
Okay.
One of the most beautiful places that we have in Africa. So, I am born in Rukungiri district.
Okay.
And I happen to be from the area that used to be blessed with the mountain gorillas and the tree climbing lion. That sets us special as Rukungiri district. Anyways, so I was born in the village, raised in the village, studied in the village, Rumbugu Primary School. Rumbugu Primary School. Went to Hombe Primary, went to Hombe High School, and then to Kabale NTC where I trained as a teacher.
What? All this time? Now I know where the passion for training comes from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are a trained teacher?
Yes, secondary school teacher.
Trained secondary school teacher?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to practice teaching?
Yeah, so I taught for 4 years as a teacher at Bishop Ruhind Kepson High School.
What were you teaching?
I was teaching incidentally music and English literature.
Wow. Okay.
So for all those years, I was teaching English and literature, music. I was in the head of a drama club. By nature, I was an artist. I did some art. I always do some hard work.
Okay.
So all those years as a teacher, it gave me a breakthrough into changing my teaching profession quickly into a child ministry. I went to Compassion International.
Okay.
And Compassion International was one of my windows to the world.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you get into Compassion International?
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your work at Compassion International.
Okay.
What were you doing with Compassion International?
So Compassion International is a child ministry that was coming through our church, our Diocese of Kigezi.
Okay.
So I was very fortunate that as a child development officer, I was in charge mainly in correspondence between the sponsors and the children that were sponsored.
Okay.
Actually, that was just a window to look into the bigger horizon than the Uganda I had been born in.
Okay.
How did that happen? You know, we were the go-between the sponsors and the child.
Yes.
So you would be getting information from the sponsor. You interpret it to the child. The child tells you a story, and you tell the story to the sponsor.
Wow.
So as a middle person between the outside world and where did these sponsors came from all over the world. So it was like it removed the curtain from where I was into the other wide part.
Yeah.
Because, for example, as a teacher, 2009, I had no idea so much about like Colorado, Miami, but a sponsor is writing to a child and saying, I come from Colorado. It's winter. We're on the beach.
Okay.
And then I would take trouble to find out
the
what
beaches
is this,
and
what
winter
is this.
and Wow.
Because I would need the child to understand this little brain. How could this little brain interpret that place?
winter.
And
To
what
even
did
have
that
the
do?
imagination. Yes. Okay.
It brought me to go back in the history and geography of Uganda. Then I would have to talk about Nyakyeni, which was my first center. You're talking about the hills, you're talking about the weather, which we usually don't talk about. So that was a very, very big window into the other world.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. And how long did you work with Compassion International?
I worked with Compassion for 5 years.
Okay.
Then.
So you're already 9 years into work.
Yes.
But before now we go further into work, let me take you back that we are talking about children and compassion.
Yes.
What kind of child were you growing up?
Ooh, as a child?
Yes.
I think I was fortunate enough that my childhood memories are very good. My village, we are so fortunate that we are near the river.
Okay.
So my lifetime...
which river is this?
River Minera, very popular.
River Minera.
With the hottest hot spring. Apart from Sempire, definitely.
Yes.
It is the only hottest hot spring actually in the country, I can confirm.
Yeah.
That is more therapeutic, that it attracts many people. Like on average day, it can attract like 800 people.
Okay.
Don't miss to come and visit Minera Hot Spring. So
Certainly will be there.
Our river is River Minera.
Okay.
Actually asking me about that because it's a kind of a river line that takes you up to Ishasha.
Okay.
So my life was like a bit of child with wild and memories and nature.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up.
Okay. What kind of family did you grow up in?
I have many citizens.
Okay.
I grew up with my mom. I'm born in Kanungu this time. It was Lukunji district.
Yes.
Then we grew up in my mom's home, Kebisoni. So I had a double citizen when I was growing up. I would find myself in my dad's side, then find myself in my mom's side. Of course, being the firstborn.
Okay.
That means I had 5 siblings. So that was my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as a child, did you travel a little bit? I'm asking these questions because you are in tourism.
Right.
How far did you ever travel as a child? And do you have any memories about travel?
Actually, my most memorable travels as a child were one evening where was told that tomorrow morning we are going to visit. And I don't know how much water we crossed, because for me as a child, that was the first big water I had crossed.
Okay.
So we walked and I was excited to go into a new place. We were visiting a grand. But what I remember as a child was this river that I first feared to step into. I don't know how big that water was, but I think it was very little water. But as a child, I think it was my first experience.
Okay.
So that is one of the memories I remember, that I crossed a river. I stepped into the water.
Through a river.
Yes. But of course, the other exciting part was what I found there, a big party. So that was my first travel as a child. Yeah.
I'm drawing pictures for myself as a child. What would be going through my head? You are probably 8 years, 6 years.
Probably I could have been 8 or 7.
You are walking to a place on foot, and then you find a river. And your parents or guardians that you are walking to this place with are telling you we are actually walking across a river.
Yeah.
Wow. No canoe, no nothing.
Interesting.
No bridge.
The only thing I remember as a child, as a visit going from my normal home I grew up, it was on foot. I don't know even how much distance. I don't even remember. I was tired. But what I remember was that river where I got scared not to step into. But also what I found there, a big party. I don't even know what the party was
about.
That was my first travel as a child.
Wow. How do you translate or transfigure yourself from someone working with a charity ministry and now getting into tourism? Okay. Where does your tour guiding journey begin?
Actually, my tour guiding journey begins from Compassion International.
Okay.
Still, it is that same job whereby I had a very interaction with the international community.
Okay.
And because I was in charge of communication,
yes,
few sponsors would really know Lilian as a child development officer in this project. So one time, there was this, when Compassion was opening the first home of their children.
Yes.
I think in Mukono, in Kampala.
Okay.
So they were opening it, and we were very lucky that one of my child that I had was sponsored by Nicole. Nicole is an international singer who sang "My Redeemer Lives."
Okay.
I know my Redeemer lives.
Okay.
And I know. So because I knew the names of the sponsor. Then they came in a bus, a big bus, and all of them, we know most of the sponsors must be from Europe and they are white-skinned. So I was looking for the tags of Nicole. But this was a lady who was just a simple lady.
Yeah.
And because she was almost the same color with me, I found it easy to ask her. I'm looking for Nicole. Because she had no tag. Because she's an international person. So she had no tag, and I'm like, she said, how did you know me? And I'm like, no. She said, I am the one. Then from that moment, before they even introduced her, I knew that was Nicole.
And you had interacted.
And interacted with her. The media was not there because they didn't know her.
Yeah. Anyway,
so such an interaction, I got to have kind of my brain to keep thinking about the outside world.
Yes.
What happens there. My interest started growing up in understanding more in relation to my country.
Yes.
So that was a spark that sparked me into
tour guiding.
Something like concerned with tourism, understanding, because the questions were like, what about, do you know anything about the River Nile, the source of the Nile? I'm like, but I was asking myself, what is the interest of the source of the Nile? Okay. But my adventure spirit was sparked
at that point.
Much as a child, I was always adventurous, having in the river, going to go and do the fishing in the river and finding birds and finding eggs of the birds.
Yes.
But at that age, it sparked my interest into understanding the international world.
Okay.
Yes. So then one of our program coordinators of international identified me something interesting, and he put me on the team of photography to register children that were coming into Compassion. So that one also, having a camera with a child, capturing the home and interpreting the home of the child, it was also something I usually see that it was an eye-opener to capture my attention into understanding and interpreting my environment.
Okay. Leaving Compassion International, where does your journey lead you to?
My journey now leads me to... So as a teacher, I kept with the professional teaching, and now I was in social work.
Yes.
I thought I should go to Kabale, Bishop Barham University, and do my bachelor's in social work, social administration.
Okay.
So, but along the way, I went there for 1 year, and then I didn't finish because I had some other responsibilities back home as a first child.
Yes.
But already, my mind was already very big, was already looking at the international world. And then when I reached Kabare, I realized Kabare was rich into, it was my district, I grew up there, but my eyes had not crossed this moment of looking at Lake Bunyonyi.
Yes.
This is our center. Bunyonyi is our center.
Yeah.
Kabare is our center for life. But I had never known what we had. I started seeing Lake Bunyonyi. I then started hearing about Bwindi.
Okay.
Now, like, the language was different than how much I had grown up as a child,
Yes.
and what I had been used in the child ministry. So that is when I came along Honorable Matthew Ruchikire,
Okay.
who happened to have an island on Lake Bunyonyi.
Okay.
So also that was now an open inlet on someone who has a camp at Lake Bunyonyi, an island which was the area for tourism.
Okay.
Then that was the point that I got to have to understand, okay, so these are tourists. What do they have to come to do? And that is the beginning.
Okay. When was your first trip? How did it start? Did you have prior training before doing this trip? What were the circumstances leading to that?
Well, my circumstances leading to tour guiding first
Yeah.
was my inner urge
Yeah.
always to learn and interpret my area. But especially it sparks right away from my interest into history and listening to people.
Yeah.
So I can say my point begins with Mugurusi Karwemera. Karwemera was an encyclopedia of our heritage and culture in Kigezi.
Okay.
He happened to be somebody who had all the stories, but for him he was special, he had written. So because I had an interest in understanding Kigezi region, there was no way how I could miss him.
Yes.
So almost every time I would have a free time,
You would read.
I would listen, I would talk to him. So he would take me story. He was
You spoke with Mugurusi.
with the Mugurusi Karwemera.
Okay.
Now
That's
the interesting
that is a special privilege.
Yes, the interesting part was if you would go directly asking him, Mugurusi Karwemera, I have a question, he would not tell you.
Okay.
So you would just open a conversation and say, Pan Mugurusi Karwemera, I always hear that the Bachiga were immigrated from Kabare to Bunyoro. Do you know anything about it? Because I knew, because he was the only person who wrote the book about people of Kigezi and its people. It is a title.
Yes.
And Ngorogoza didn't know how to write.
Okay.
When you read our history, I don't want to tell you what Ngorogoza is.
Yes.
So that you'll find out.
Okay.
So Ngorogoza, he didn't know how to write, but he was a wise man, a genius.
Okay.
So he would dictate to Karwemera
Okay.
as a young man. So he knew all the facts in the book. So I would say, did you know that? He would say, Lilian, you don't know that I'm the person who wrote the book? Then he would begin there.
Okay.
So because I had interest in him and would ask him, my first entry was. So researchers would always come to him. And he would charge them heavily.
Okay.
So one time, one researcher who was doing a research about Kigezi and migration and people from Michigan University,
Okay.
and charged her very well and said, me, I cannot work for free, but I'm going to give you one person.
Okay.
And that one person, I know she always asks me, she will help you.
Okay.
And she gave her my number and my name, said, you call Lilian. And Lilian is someone I know has information because she usually asks me. So Ashley calls me and said, I have been given your number by Mugurusi Karwemera. I have this and this. Then that was my entry into tourism. Why? It went on a researcher bringing groups of students, bringing everything. And we worked through the journey together because her research had something special that they made the archive of, of Kigezi at the district.
Okay.
So that archive has all our history, of our colonial history, that has geography, that has history, that has politics.
Okay.
And has minerals. So my time there was like, I got to know. So my first trip was with these people, the tourists who happened to know Kigezi than me.
Yes.
And she would say, Lilian, we are going to climb Muhabura.
Okay.
And then the beauty part, I had known how to drive. That's another story.
Yes.
Had known how to drive. I had a small car, Ipsum. So that's where my journey starts. And my trip, the first trip was to go and climb Mugahinga with no prior training.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was going to find. That is.
But you were going somewhere.
I was going somewhere, happy
with
driving,
these researchers,
with
and
his
you're driving them in your
and I'm
car.
driving them in my car. I don't know what I was telling them, right or wrong, but the journey was exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing about authentic experiences, and
Yes.
Again, how things in life prepare us for a lot of things that we don't know about in the future.
Yes.
You only realize that when you connect the dots backwards.
Yes.
Now we are able to connect the dots, but you had somehow circumstances had prepared you through the teaching, through Compassion International, and now you have had long conversations with an author, Mugurusi. You had been prepared, but without knowing. Okay.
Yes.
And so the research, how long did the research go on, and when it ended, what came next after the research? When was your next trip?
Right. So along the research, after 2 years, when we were still doing the research, because our research went on almost like for 4 years, because one team would go, then others. Then Ashley came for her PhD, and she crossed to Rwanda. She's someone also who introduced me to understand more Rwanda. Okay, that's a story for another time.
We have to come and look into that story. Lilian learns about Rwanda. That's going to be the next story.
Yeah.
Maybe you would write a book. Lilian learns about Rwanda. Okay?
Yeah, so along
Ashley
there...
comes back to do her PhD, and she's now focusing on Rwanda.
On Rwanda. But in between, there comes, of course, as I'm working with Ruchikire at Heritage.
Okay.
I don't know what my role was, but I was always purchasing things, taking them things, going to the lake. There was life. Then I went to Muko, like as a camp manager.
Yeah.
Okay? As a camp manager, and there I'm beginning to explore more. I'm going to explore more about the beauty. And my introduction was one day when I came across the National Geographical team, which was filming. I don't know, they were going to Windy, but you know, as someone who loves to read, National Geographical magazines were my always good books. And here I was with the team with capes, Nat Geo, everything Nat Geo. Then I saw these big cameras. I didn't know what was happening.
Okay.
But now it was like, what are they going to do? So one of the guys was kind enough, and he told me we are going to Bwindi, penetrable forest. Remember, I don't know much about Bwindi.
Yeah.
And we're going to do filming of the gorillas. And then one of them is like, I want to do birding. And I'm like, oh, birds. These usual birds.
Yeah.
What is so strange about birds?
Birds.
So that was every minute sparking. But I'm at Muko campsite. And I'm looking at clients. They are looking for some birds which I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I got this client who said, I'm looking for a swamp warbler. And I'm asking myself, what is a swamp warbler? And the guy was kind enough. He goes for a week. He camps in Nyamuriro swamp.
To find the swamp warbler.
And then he comes, he shows me these beautiful photos. But every minute I am in touch with a client, there is something that is sparking in my life.
Yes.
And then suddenly I had Adrian Ankunda. And I was like, hey, you know, Lilian, I have seen your wildlife interest.
Did she call you or?
No, we were meeting because she
Yes.
was working, and I think she's still working with Heritage Lodges.
Okay.
I was like, you come in the training of Osaga,
Okay.
and I think something good will happen.
Okay.
And that was.
So you go for training.
Then I go for training.
What was the training like?
Actually, the first training was about basics of tour guiding.
Yes.
Which I remember very well.
Yes.
But I remember the first thing I picked was, the key thing was, do you understand your environment? And then it went back to reflect. Okay, so if I know something about Bwindi, and I know something about Queen, and I know something about Bunyonyi,
Yes.
and cover the town's history,
Yes.
then I have what to say.
Yes.
That was it. And never to go back.
So you have finished the training at Osaga.
Yes.
I know that you do different kinds of trips, including bird watching.
Mm-hmm.
But how has been that journey? Tourist guiding.
Tourist guiding.
Yes.
Well,
which companies have you worked for or guided your own trips? Just take us through a little bit of your work now as a tourist guide. The interesting bits.
The interesting bit was, number one, is being in charge of people who have come from
other
countries, and you are the eyes. That is, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
You are like kind of having children in your hands.
Yes.
You take them in the right way, or you take them in the wrong way. And what is the experience? That is one of the most fascinating part.
Yeah.
You have adults, you have doctors, you have professors, you have engineers, you have astronauts.
All sorts of people.
Is an experience.
And you are the parent.
They
are following as children.
They are following up children.
Wow.
That is one of the things that keeps me alert.
Okay.
You are a guide.
Wow.
Whether it is a cultural tour, whether it is a birding tour, whether it is a wildlife tour, whether it is hiking, you are ahead. You plan everything.
Lilian, this for me sounds like really a great privilege for people who are already tour guiding, and even for those who are interested in the tourist guiding occupation.
Right.
That in your car, under your leadership, you have people from all walks of life. You have, all walks of life, literally, politicians, medical doctors, engineers, astronauts, teachers, all kinds of people.
Right.
That's quite a task.
Very.
How do you manage?
Very interesting.
How do you manage?
Well, okay, number one is there is what we call prior preparation.
Yes.
Prior preparation is you have been accumulating knowledge.
Yes.
You see, as a tourist guide, I don't want to go into details, but you as a personality, you must develop yourself an interest to learn.
Yeah.
An interest to learn, and as a tourist guide, you must read. What do I mean? You must read, and read even things you don't understand, but you must read to understand.
Yes.
Because you don't know the people you're going to meet. That's number one. So preparation is not about cleaning the car. Those are other things. But preparation is for you as a personality, as an individual.
Yeah.
And preparation is about knowledge. And how do we accumulate knowledge? We accumulate knowledge through sitting in schools, through training.
Yeah.
But self-study.
Yeah.
Self-study is number one, which puts you on a certain level that you can manage to be ready to answer, to prepare, to predict, to be a counselor. You look into someone's eye and you're like, I don't think this person is comfortable with. This person has a question. Even when you don't know the answer, are you understanding that even you understand the question? So you cannot be able to do those things if you have no knowledge, if you don't. Someone we are also even dealing with people with different accents.
Yeah.
Some of the questions, you understand them from a point of context
Yes,
of your
context.
conversation.
Context as keyword.
As a keyword.
Yeah.
You may, along the way, as someone begins a question, it may not come, but as you finish and you get the context, then you understand the question. Even not knowing the answer, but you can lead someone to say, I have understood the question, but I don't know the answer.
And we can
find the answer. So that is something very tasking I have found too. It's not about their profession, but it is also about where they come from.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
As a tourist guide, you come across different cultures, different people with different backgrounds, people with different concepts, people with different ideologies, people with different beliefs.
Yeah.
You as a tour guide, everything is coming to you as number one. That is how much task a tourist guide has.
You have to be the master of all trades.
Yep.
And the jack of none.
Of none.
This is an interesting one. Really.
Yeah.
What a great task that we have as tourist guides. So friends out there, as you think about joining the tour guiding occupation, Lilian is unpacking for us the interesting bits, things that you need to think about beforehand and to understand and have a grip on things, on concepts, because you are going to meet all kinds of people and any kind of people out there. Right. Okay, let's talk about tour guiding.
Right.
Your most memorable trip, other than the first two, because clearly those first two, the researchers going to Mugahinga, and then Ashley, I think those are quite obvious. They are very memorable. Yeah. But other than those two, what is one of your most, share with us, two of your most interesting trips as a tourist guide? I know there are many after 15 years.
How? Okay. Every trip you do, it leaves you with something memorable. That's what I have noticed. But probably I have this funny experience as a tour guide, which I think I need to share, that probably is one of the relaxing and moments I have had. So as usual, as guides, this was very early in the morning. You wake up in the morning, very early before anyone. You're going for a game drive. We're in Queen Elizabeth National Park at Bush Lodge. So I wake up at 5. I want to check the car to see whether everything is fine, ready for the game drive. So as I was heading to the car, then I had somebody coming, footsteps. And as usual, you have to greet. So I'm like, good morning, Afande. There was no response. Then I kept moving. You're walking, and then I'm like, maybe this person doesn't understand English. Then I said, in Uganda is a common language. I said, Orioza Sebo. There was no response. Then I stopped. And then to see there was a hippo. So
now that's a real Sebo. Wow, behind you?
No, I was coming in front.
So you were face to face?
Yeah, because I was coming and listening and hearing Sebo coming. And that was the hippo. Okay, you know how much the brain processes in seconds. You even see your funeral. You see, the brain is very interesting. Yeah? In just a second, you even see your speeches. and in a second, I processed everything. But quickly, I went around the car. Then I was to go around it with the hippo. because the hippo had not aggressively
Approached you
had not thought
of aggression.
of
yeah.
aggression.
Yes.
So for it kept feeding. I also, kept rotating around the car. Then I was, rotating around the car.
Well calculating.
We were calculating. It's feeding. It's like mowing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And then finally it went its way.
Wow.
Then, so some people at the lodge may not understand where my conscious brain takes me. It's because of the hippo. But it's so memorable that how you are face to face with something in a short time.
Yeah.
And then what goes around the brain. Actually, it's not about the experience, but it was how much I processed. And I could see the speeches completely of what was happening. That is something that
is very memorable.
Is very memorable and very interesting.
Okay.
How much sometimes exposure you could be by the nature of
your work.
Of your work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Any interesting customers or guests that you have had, and specifically challenging one? Have you had challenging guests? What was the situation like, and how did you manage that situation?
It's actually a recent trip.
Okay.
Where I had, it's not that because it is still new, because it is a trip that it got out of my hands, right?
Yeah.
That I almost failed how to
handle it.
How did it happen? Well, we're going to Kidepo. Definitely, the itinerary, they were not my guests. The itinerary had a bit of, it had some gaps.
Yeah.
So I was trying to cover up the gaps.
Yeah.
But it was a moment that it was raining in Kidepo. Right?
Yeah.
So, and Kidepo, when it rains, it's a different story.
Yeah, it's another adventure.
It's another adventure altogether.
Yeah.
So these people, to cut the story short, was that they wanted to go and do a game drive, but it was impossible.
Yeah.
And I was like, we can do another activity, and everybody's at the lodge. We cannot go. And they were like, we want to go.
Okay.
I was like, we want to go. So I was like, okay, let's go, because you are already pressed on the wall.
Yeah.
So we went somewhere and got stuck. No connection. You can't call.
Yes.
You can't get anything. You are fearing this is Kidepo. You are looking at your clients. You don't want to annoy them. You want them to have a good experience. There is no time to blame. You are not going to blame anybody. So what next?
I think this is where, now some people use this expression,
yes,
being stuck between a hard place and a rock. But this is the real meaning of being stuck between a hard place and a rock.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And you see, humanly, your brain is telling you, I told them, but you don't want to blame anybody. I told you, but you see now this time you are still the guide. Even when they made a mistake to push you, this is not the right time to blame anybody.
You're still the parent with your babies.
With your babies. For them, they were children. They wanted to adventure. So now this is where you, as a guide, you have to come up your professional experience and everything. Anyways, so what happened was, I was like, now guys, let us just see what I can do. Now it was my time to go down in the mud.
See what's going on there.
There is no rock. There is no nothing. But you know why it is very hard was that you see some people and they are mature. Remember the people we have, they are adults.
Yeah.
You've told them we cannot do a game drive, but you want to satisfy them. So somehow it was difficult because I started blaming myself.
Why did I?
Why?
Yes.
I should have stuck to but there is
Yeah.
where you stick to the principle.
Yeah.
But the principle, there is where it doesn't.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part on me, which
Yeah.
I had never done. Most times I refuse.
Yeah, you would stick to the
I
principle.
remember one time there was a client who was very difficult also, and he wanted tree climbing lions.
Okay.
And of course, tree climbing lions, you have not put them there.
Yeah.
But this is a client.
They are not caged on a tree.
They are not caged, but this is like, I want to see that tree climbing lion. Previously, you have not been okay. But now, someone calls you and says, Lilian, there are tree climbing lions here. And you say, guys, tighten your belts and we'll rush.
And see if we find them.
And the client says, I am not going. I'm not going. Me, I've been in Namibia. You cannot go to see the lions during the afternoon. I'm like, these are tree climbing lions. These ones will be on the tree because you say, I'm not going. Then I told her, you sit in the car, you must go.
Okay.
Okay? I'm like, we have to go. And if we don't go now, tomorrow, but you see, that is a conversation you're having between your boss.
Yeah.
He's your client. He's your child. He's everything. But again, this is a moment where you have to say some of the hard parts. So those are moments where you come across clients sometimes. So we went with that client. It was like she went while her tears were rolling her. And then, good enough, thank God, we found the cubs in the tree. And she was taking a picture. Oh, this is very nice, while crying, actually. But you can see that was a win on my side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is where I make a decision that is even hard.
Yeah.
So those are moments, small moments, but maybe through experience, others can share with us that as a trained and person who has been with people and who has a passion, always to create a memorable experience, to rubbish whatever hard could have been.
Yeah. And
this is where you come after everything. Then you sit together and say, oh, this has happened, but we still have this to do. And at the end of the day, you feel like you have done it when you can sit on a table and smile again.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I always say that there is no profession without professional hurdles.
Right.
And I think for tourist guiding, it is one that has so many hurdles.
Right.
And talking of professional hurdles, you are in a predominantly male profession, tourist guiding, which involves driving.
Right.
It's mainly males.
Right.
Have you had any challenges as a female getting into a profession that is predominantly a male? Let's just dive into that a little bit.
Okay, definitely. One of the first hurdles is the perception. As you remember, before, tour guiding was not looked as a profession.
Yeah.
So everyone who drives would be like driving.
Yeah.
And at times someone would say you are like a taxi driver, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's not a profession that was understood very well.
Yeah.
So, and some people, not even people in the same industry like you, but some people would say, why
is she becoming a driver?
Why is she doing that?
Yeah.
Are there not other things? But those are very few people. I can really, Peter, say, in my job, especially with the colleagues, 100% support from the males.
Yeah.
That was my first experience.
Okay.
Which I think was the first inspiration that almost everyone would want to help.
Yeah.
I remember one time we got stuck somewhere in Queen, and people were willing to come. They stop and they get you out of the mud.
Yeah.
2, even building you professionally, like some of the ethics, you know. We've had like Herbert. Herbert has been one of the top person to bring you.
Yeah.
I have Krami.
Yeah.
Krami, I remember one experience. He found me in Matron and said, Lilian, your tires. I remember very well. Always have good tires, you know. So, I mean, the professional part has been good with the guides, but even the outside world is like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Some people will sit you down and say, Lilian, this is too much work. As the lady, how do you drive?
Yeah.
Those were some of the challenges. But to me, every person, if every time someone will put a task, then I will say, oh, then I should work on this. And do you know what that means? You find you're working double or
Yeah.
triple. You put in the effort because
Yes.
the expectations are many.
Yeah.
The expectations are a lot.
Yeah.
You're trying to beat the standard. So you
Yes.
have to work very, very hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Even when like a mistake happens that can happen like any other mistake, it will be attributed to you because you're a lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking of that, actually, right there,
Yes.
do you feel that there has been incidents where the guests or clients could have treated you or behaved differently because you are a female tourist guide?
No,
Okay.
only that one time there was a trip I was to pick from Chigari, and definitely the person who was supposed to take up a trip was male, and then I don't know what happened. Then
The substitute is
the
female.
substitute is female. So I went to the airport, and these were people from Zimbabwe, and one of the tour leaders was a leader, a tourist guide in Zimbabwe. So when I came on the airport, and here I was saying, my name is Lilian, and they saw their names, I'm going to be your driver guide. Yeah, I could feel it. And went to the hotel. But because I had sensed it, so I had to up my game. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now this is something where you have to be very, 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 very professional and give the right service.
Yeah.
So, which I didn't know. Then after the end of the trip, oh, they were like, oh, Lilian, this was nice that we got you as a substitute. And one of the ladies was very open and said, at first, we felt really like betrayed. I was like, very, very, and the tip could tell, the tip that was given.
Yeah.
The tip was good.
Appreciative,
That was
yeah.
appreciative. Not only the words, but at the end, they were like, oh, we are lucky that we got you.
True.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of finding work, do you also think that your being female could have put you at a disadvantage, that people wouldn't quickly think of calling a lady to take on a tour?
Yeah, actually, I can say
Gender bias.
gender bias, you can easily see it when I reflect back. Of course, like someone who was looking for a job. I remember like 3 offices I had gone to look for a job, but there was no call back. But I always tell my friends that my entry point into working for other companies, the few that I've worked with, was because at that particular moment, they have an emergency. Okay?
Oh, yes.
You are not first choice.
Priority. You're not first
choice. But there is that little moment when they have a what? An emergency. And who is the substitute? Is Lilian. Okay?
Okay.
So, of course, getting a job as a tour guide was not easy, but I was always given a chance by those moments that can come in, and then you are the substitute, and then you fulfill the job. If there was no emergency, probably they will not give you the first priority. But, and when I was given any chances, I would always do my best.
Wow. I hear this is, I think we see this actually sometimes in football. That the sub
substitute.
comes on for
Dangerous
20
substitute.
minutes
Yeah.
and he just turns around the game. That's what I hear about your story, where you have come in as a sub and everyone is appreciating that. Thank God we had you
Yeah.
instead of the other guy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.